I wonder what it would be like to be physically blind. It would be such a limiting life. But what would be so much worse would be being spiritually blind. Many of us who have known Jesus for many years forget what it was like to be spiritually blind, to have guilt, to have pain, to have a lack of peace and a lack of purpose and a lack of hope, and having no assurance that something good was going to happen when we died. But there is good news. In Matthew 5:14, it says that you are the light of the world. You and I are lights in this world. And as we go about our daily life, we are shining light. And you might say, well, how do others see that light? Or how can I really make a difference? I don't see many people saved, and maybe I don't even see anyone saved at all. So what isn't working? I believe the Holy Spirit in us needs to be activated. And to be activated, it's like turning on a light switch. And what is going to turn on that light switch? I believe it is having an expectation that God is going to use you, having faith that God is going to use you. And that is like turning on the light switch. The current of the Holy Spirit is moving in our life at all times, but it doesn't come out until that light switch of expectation and faith is activated. I had an amazing time this week. I went out shopping with my husband Alan, and before I went out, I thought I should really pray and commit it to God in case there's a divine encounter He has in store for me. And I barely thought that, and a name popped into my mind, an unusual name. And also I got the words blue cap. So I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and off we went shopping. And I shared my faith with a couple of people, and then Alan went off and he met a young man and he was just chatting away to him, and I came along and I got talking to him and ended up sharing the gospel with him. And then I said, oh, sorry, my name's Lynne. And he said what his name was, and it was the unusual name that God had popped into my mind before I'd left the house. God is just so faithful. And I got the piece of paper out of my bag. I showed him his name, and I'd written on there blue, and he had a blue t-shirt on. I didn't quite get that right. He didn't have a blue cap on, but he had a blue t-shirt on. So I showed him his name and the word blue. And I talked to him about how God had singled him out in prayer to me that morning and how special he was to God, and just really emphasised how precious he was. And I'm sure he must have felt pretty special seeing his name written on that piece of paper. And I will be hoping to follow him up. I know where he works, and he works there a few days a week, and I will go and visit him again. I gave him a gospel tract, but he did hear the whole gospel. Now, I don't believe that would have happened if I hadn't have waited on God before I went out. I don't believe it would have happened if I hadn't had faith and an expectation to be used. So my encouragement to you, if you want to see more fruit in your life as far as people coming to know the Lord and having a chance to share the gospel, turn on the light switch of faith and expectation and see what God will do through your life. God bless you, and I'd love to hear your stories.